And welcome back to our weekly Icarus patch notes updates. I'm here with Carlos, so I'm gonna hop over to Discord. Hey my man, how you doing?
Doing well yourself.
Not too bad, not too bad. It's Friday, Icarus update, weekend, gameplay, etc. So,
Indeed.
I'm
Patch
good.
notes first, obviously. So,
So this week we get a new rifle, workshop rifle, the Chac rifle. We have the new Chac rifle in the orbital workshop. It has a 0.8 second reload and a 6 bullet magazine. So welcome to week 197, almost 200. This week brings the new Chac rifle to the orbital workshop with an extra 25% critical damage and a 0.8 second reload. In addition, we're also adding 7.62mm ammo to the orbital workshop, as well as some fixes around crafting. So yeah, it's using the 7.62 mil, so you can
yeah.
craft ammo planet side, or grab it from the workshop if you want.
And you're still not able to buy crossbow bolts. You can buy pistols, you can buy the new 10 or the new 50 cal bullets, and you can buy now a 7x56 or whatever the dimensions are. And you could buy arrows, but you can still not buy crossbow bolts. Somebody's neglecting balancing things. But indeed,
Well, you can always put a feature request in.
yeah, true. That's fine.
So, we also got some details about next week's performance-focused patch. For now though, some notable improvements. Fixed various issues with crafting drink flavors, tea, coffee, cocoa, etc., where you could craft these with empty water containers. Normally you need to have like a canteen with water and then tea or coffee or cocoa or whatever to craft your tea, etc. There was a bug where you could craft them with an empty container. I'm glad I fixed that.
It just means that you have to obviously, you could craft it with even dirty water from a
Yeah,
river, could you not?
yeah.
It didn't have to be purified, it didn't have to be anything because obviously you're boiling the water, so theoretically
Not
it's a tiny
sure
thing, but
it will be cleaning the water then. It might be still like tea, but still with the dirty water debuff.
alright.
They also fixed an issue where ice was queuing up recipes and melting in campfires, even if there were no containers there.
Yeah, just wasting the blocks of ice. I mean, theoretically, if you put
Yep,
a block of ice in a fireplace, it's gonna melt even if there isn't a container, so,
true.
you know,
It will
not,
still melt though, but at the same speed as when you have it in your inventory.
yeah, does it smelt quicker when you have a container in it?
Yes, then you're actively processing it into water. If you don't process it, so if there's no container present,
It's the
then
same.
it
It's just the
melts
default
at the same
smelting,
speed as
yeah.
in your inventory.
Yeah, I would say theoretically, logically speaking, is that it would, make sense for me to just make sure that if you put ice in a fireplace and it is actively running, that it basically it melts at the same speed. So whether or not you put a container in it to capture per se melted water is entirely up to you. But you've just chucked ice into a fire. What's gonna
True,
happen? It's gonna melt pretty quickly. So yeah.
true. But yeah, that's not how the game mechanics is supposed to work. So.
Yeah, okay. But I don't see that as really kind of a bug. That's definitely more like an undocumented feature. So, makes sense.
And also, mount modifiers are now correctly removed when the mount is being sent up to space via the orbital exchange interface. Somehow, before the auras, the mount modifiers, were lingering behind and were causing crashes.
Interesting.
So they fix it now.
All right. Well, I've never sent anything planet side up that was alive. So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did it when I did do the Zebra rescue mission.
It would be nice if you could send your dogs up to space.
Oh, you can.
Like your pets.
You
You
can.
can?
Yeah, you
I
can.
can send. I can send freaking Loki and Freya
Yep.
up to space. I did not know that.
Yes, and then you can call it
Okay.
down. Like if you want to take them to a boss fight,
Yeah.
the easiest way is to send them up to space,
Okay. Well,
bring an
this
orbital
changes something.
exchange interface with you, and then when you're
Yeah.
close to the boss, there you call them back down.
Well, I was just more like thinking, we're on these large open worlds, and sometimes it'd be nice to have like a pet there to, help defend and kind of stuff. But capturing one in a non-established base like we have here on our Styx map,
Oh yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to go catch a wolf and then I have to train it, but we're not that far away from it in our other Prometheus type of
yeah.
setup.
You can
So
send it up. You can send Loki up in Prometheus and call it
yeah,
down on Styx.
yeah,
But also,
but
like I said, if you want to bring him to a boss fight, you
yeah,
don't want to go to the trouble of like slowly walking
yeah,
towards a boss because otherwise the wolf can't keep up. Just send it up to space
makes sense.
and close to where you're gonna do the boss fight.
Yep.
There you call down the wolf again.
Okay. With
If you
basically,
orbital
the
exchange
mouse that
interface,
issues.
and then like pick up
That's fine.
the OEI again and go and fight the boss.
By the way, just as a note for you, is that the re-rolling of the spawns doesn't work.
Ah.
So they're all the same. So
Unfortunate. Oh well. Would have been nice, but
yeah, so be it.
right. This week we get the Chac rifle. This week we're adding the new Chac rifle to the orbital workshop. Now what that rifle lacks in critical and projectile damage, it more than makes up for with its rate of fire and reload speed. Didn't it just say it had 25% plus 25% crit damage?
Probably comparative to normal, which might have like 100 and something percent. So who
True,
knows?
true.
But we'll take a glance at the
So
statistics when we get
the
it.
hunting rifle is a bolt action. Well, not really bolt action, it's a bolt action rifle, but it's like a single shot. Is it? No, it has an 6 or 8 capacity magazine as well. So this one is supposed to.
It can still be bolt action and then have a mag. I mean, it's
True.
It's,
So this might be a semi-automatic then.
probably yeah, it probably would be yeah. But it said yeah, because it will probably be like a carbide to some expect. So it would be like because a 0.6 second reload does mean it's basically like one bullet at a time, pretty much the same as like most.
The carbine is an automatic one. Yeah.
No, I mean yeah, but I mean like there's another word I'm looking for, like a repeater basically. It's like but it's like side loader. But yeah, it is what it is. But we'll see how quickly it fires, and how quickly.
Well,
damage will once we get it.
this new rifle sports a 6-bullet magazine and a lightning quick 0.8 second reload time. This means that while it might deal less damage per shot than a hunting rifle, it deals far more damage per minute.
Oh, that's good, because that was one of the complaints that I had about the hunting rifles, is that the downrange DPM was significantly lower to the point that it made it obsolete. Because yeah, sure thing, the first shot might miss entirely because the hitbox is not where it's supposed to be. But
like if you get a stealth crit shot in with a hunting rifle, you deal massive initial damage, but subsequent damage is going to be way less because it's a slower firing. Yeah, true.
And that's why I always switch away from it then. I mean, it's nice. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what the numbers look like. So we'll definitely order.
Well, you want some numbers?
No, we'll take.
Well, a good example is the hunting rifle, which takes 18 seconds to take down a level 1 polar bear. So let's assume no crit shots and no stealth damage. 18 seconds to take down a level 1 polar bear, compared to only 12 seconds for the Chac rifle.
We'll see. I mean, I don't trust the vendors telling you and selling you.
True. And like, this is like base damage, no damage modifiers, etc. But yeah.
Exactly. Because depending on, because I think it will be pretty good, but we're definitely ordering one from Space to see what it looks like. So definitely going to give
Oh
it a
yeah.
shot.
So in layman terms, the speed and handling of the Chac rifle more than makes up for the lower damage per shot. Now it can be unlocked and purchased in the Orbital Workshop using Ren and Exotics. And in addition to the rifle, we've also added the 7.62mm Chac ammo box to the workshop, which can be purchased using Ren.
Nice.
Next week, multiplayer server performance update. Yay!
And now, just as a tip note, is that I did feel to me, for some reason that it was quite smooth when I was planet side. So not sure if some of these have sort of snuck in already this week. But we'll see.
And they're constantly doing performance updates, so it is possible. Also, it's been a while since we played this prospect. They have been doing quite a few changes in the meantime. So, whilst I didn't directly expect the performance to be better, I'm not too surprised.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's also my feeling for it. So you
True,
might
true.
experience a different point of it, but just keep in mind, I think it seems like quicker. Carrying on, good improvements, always useful, always welcome, as you say.
So next week update specifically targets performance overhead involving the cost scaling of multiple players playing in one session. We'll have more details to share in our week 198 blog. So next week we will be getting more info about this.
Good.
Now your support makes these updates possible. If you want to support the dev team and them giving out free updates every single week. And if you want to support them, consider buying some of the DLCs. For example, the Icarus Great Hunts pack. If you get like the complete pack, it does include the Great Hunts DLC, the Prometheus and the Icarus map. Nice bundle. Or you can buy some open worlds or some customization packs. Or you go for the complete bundle, like the complete set bundle, which basically looks at what you don't have yet. It's a dynamic bundle, and everything you don't have yet, all the DLCs, will be then added. Good way to support the dev team. Now we go to the changelog, new content, basically the new rifle. Couple of fixes. Add missing rope recipe from fiber to the textiles benches. Yes, I know they weren't in the textiles bench. Rope from fiber, only a rope from leather. However, the rope from fiber is in the workbench. So personally, I always thought it was supposed to be like this. Apparently, the rope from fiber recipe was always supposed to be in a textiles bench as well. Again, not the biggest issue. You need a workbench to craft the textiles bench anyway, and then in the workbench you can make the rope from fiber, but it has now been added to the textiles bench as well. Remove some obsolete Beta Weekend Satellite Faction Corps content. Beta Weekend, wow, that's like almost 200 weeks ago. They finally removed it.
Alright, well, cleaning up some of the, backlog and well, not trash, but some of the, doing a bit of house cleaning isn't a bad idea.
Exactly. Fix blood splats for the drill arrows versus creatures only play on the initial hit, not subsequent hit. This has now been fixed. Now, if you hit a creature with the drill arrow again, you will still get a blood splats. Display server FPS on escape menu for clients. So if you play on a dedicated server and you hit the escape button, you can see the server FPS, even though the server does not run a graphical interface. Okay. Would be nice to compare the server one with the client one.
Well, usually the loading screens are actually dangerous. That's why you sometimes vsync cap it, because you don't want to cause extreme FPS on like loading screens, because it's usually there's actually like issues in the past in certain games would actually break people's GPUs because of it. So
Break the GPUs?
yeah,
Wow.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's I can't recall exactly which game it was, but there were a few games that were released which basically busted a couple of GPUs because of loading menu basically going like a rampant FPS, like just insane, and then it overvolts, and then it sort of drew too much power, and then it fries people's GPUs. I can't recall exactly which game, but this was like, you know, the past 2 years. So,
Wow.
so yeah, be
Okay.
careful about loading, you know, these types of things. But yeah,
Yeah.
but regardless, it's good.
Fix crafting checks for recipes that have no input item but do have a resource input. Fix crafting max count for recipes that have no item input but do have a resource input. Um, this might be related to the issue where... Actually, no, that one is mentioned below. So I'm not sure what kind of crafting recipes we're talking about. Might have to do with the ice in the campfire thing.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Some dialogue and item typos fixed. Fixed modifiers not removed from mounts sent to space. Talked about that one. Fix and ensure with player movement audio and empty portable water containers. Thank you. Fix some field guide uses are not being displayed. I've seen this mentioned in Discord. I haven't noticed it myself, but if you opened the field guide for a resource and then part of the interface was blank,
Hmm.
the users, what's it being used in, was blank. So fixed typo Arctic survival suit. Let's assume they did this deliberately, and this is the old name.
I think that would be a reasonable assessment.
Otherwise, it would be fun. We fix a typo and we introduce a new one. Anyway.
Yes.
Fix skinning bench isn't previewing correct stack numbers for carcass outputs. I've seen this in Discord indeed. Experimental branch. The skinning bench recipes didn't show the correct numbers. The same for furnaces. They weren't previewing the correct number of ingot inputs. So the furnace stated it's like one titanium ore for one titanium ingot, whilst in reality it still used 5. Fizzlebug on experimental, which they have fixed. Fix an issue where you could queue up more items in the workbench than you had resources for. I have seen this
Yeah.
yesterday in my solo one as well.
I saw that last time we were playing as well.
Yeah,
There was an
I had
issue with
like 20 copper ingots in my inventory, so went to the fabricator, select copper wire, max, press craft, and I could press in craft, and it would add stacks of 100 copper wire to the crafting queue, even though I didn't have the ingots for it. So I'm glad I fixed that, because if you have like 600 bone in your inventory, you go to the material processor or mortar and pestle, you say, craft me 100 crushed bone, press the craft a couple of times, it should add three commands, 3 crafts in the queue, and not a fourth one. So I'm glad I fixed this. Fix the issue where ice in a campfire would be auto melting, even if the container was full. Talked about that. Issue where campfire could produce tea and coffee with empty water containers. We've talked about that. Fix an issue with the advanced kitchen sink where water containers could be filled without actually connecting the kitchen sink to a water network. I've seen this mentioned in Discord as well. Again, this was on experimental branch. So they fixed it before it went to production. This is good. And then our favorite part, future content. Let's see, mushroom trees are being mentioned again. concrete, glass, and tempered glass curved walls, advanced beam, diagonal curved wall, angles. So a whole lot of new building pieces. Can't wait for them to go in the game so I can do some more funky building.
Yeah.
Flying tank being mentioned again, dragonfly, slinker Juvie. Fixed rebellious floating rocks in one of the new caves.
You usually sometimes still have poorly rendered.
Oh yeah,
Like not really
poorly,
rocks.
not poorly rendered, but poorly placed.
Yeah, well placed, but it's like yeah. So you still have tears in the world basically. You know, like you put like a big rock and then it's like half of it's floating, so you clip underneath it, kind of thing. Like
Yeah, but also like floating trees, floating foxholes, etc.
I haven't seen a floating voxel or a floating tree in
There
even a double stack
is
tree.
one if you on Olympus go in the south, go from the forest area to the desert area, and if you take the northern entry of the two, you will be passing a floating foxhole. Has been there
Well,
since launch.
yeah, I mean, it's also the fact that we haven't really mined much at all because we don't want to, you know, cause server lag and we just have the deep drills going. So
True.
yeah, pretty much it is what it is.
Let's see, adding oil geyser audio loop with bubbles and splashes. Sounds cool.
Yeah. Now they're also adding a flightless tank.
Yeah, but that one has been mentioned before as well. Flightless tank. Don't really, yeah, don't really see where flightless tank is being mentioned here, but
It's pretty much up there. It says
oh,
flight
there,
tank
yeah,
added
I see
within
it.
virtual stats, and then
Yeah,
there's flightless tank added ground tank montages.
flightless tank, basic implementation, flying tank, animation blueprint. Yeah,
And there's more oil connectors and flow meters and icons and
yeah.
biofuel, fine oil, crude oil, network flow meter, tool for new regards. So oil.
A lot of oil
Yeah.
stuff. Yep. So we're gonna get a flagpole asset with
To put a
29
flag.
flags. Added 29 flags from around the world for the flagpole assets, including all textures and materials. So you can make a nice NATO building and then blow it up, for example.
That sounds, that doesn't make sense. The thing is, there's like, yeah, realistically, it would have been nice. Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't be real world flags because that would be lame.
Well, flags from around the world, it said. So.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be lame. You know, put a flag in like all the different vendors and like, you know, like a Space Marine flag. I don't know, like, you know, make it cool. I mean,
Warhammer 4K flag and.
Yeah, I mean, can they give us the Union Jack flag rather than the new one? Because obviously we know what's going on in, you know, England at the moment, but we're not here to talk about politics and governments. But yeah, yeah, all right. You can stick a flag in the ground and claim it as yours. Perfect. Yes,
Yep.
but then yet again, you don't want to claim it for your country because patriotism is practically dead. But yeah, you know, just putting a flag in the ground saying, hey, you know, some fictional corporation is claiming it, you know, it's more role playing.
Well, you can.
Really,
You can add another flag than your fellow prospector, and then
because
say, "Hey, I don't like your flag." Then you can start beating him, just so you have an excuse.
Yeah. It's true. But yeah, we haven't really received much lore in the game in regards to Terra or Earth.
In regards to countries, yes.
In regards to that, yeah. So I would presume that if we've advanced to the point where we have interstellar space and traveling, that we have, you know, the theory is that you would no longer have borders and humanity would sort of have to stick together to kind of get the resources
there
and
is
stuff
the
done.
African Assembly as one of the factions, yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
And for some missions you actually do for the African Assembly.
All right, well, that's my point. So if there was like, you know, fictional, you know, planetary Terra or Earth, you know, type of corporations or countries, it would also be pretty cool to go through that and some of that lore. But regardless, we get flags. Sounds good.
Okay. oil-powered generators.
Bark lines. So they added bark lines for Victor NPC. So
Some
I
kind
don't.
of dog or something.
Well, okay, yeah, because Victor, you could probably call
Yeah,
him Victor. Victor is an odd name for a dog. But
me.
okay.
What I'm also looking at, Danger Horizons feature level lock in World Resource Network icons for biofuel, refined oil, and crude oil networks on the Flowmeter
Oh,
tool. So we can finally make a biofuel network, like one big biofuel producer and then lines towards your generators. So you don't have to
oh,
walk back and forth with the biofuel cans
ah,
no more. You have
that's
biofuel
fair point.
network.
Yeah, that's fair
The
point.
same
Yeah,
for refined oil and crude oil.
yeah, yeah, makes
Nice.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, all right.
Um, yeah, add refined and crude oil networks to the flow meter.
Ooh,
Added
jackhammer. Jackhammer.
mark lines
T5
is here.
jackhammer. So we had chainsaws. What was the previous week? It was a chainsaw. There was something else as well that they introduced. There's a chainsaw,
A
and then
chainsaw has been mentioned
yeah, but
quite a
then
few
now they have a
times already.
jackhammer, so that's for the mining. But there was something
A
else.
mining laser was
Oh, there
mentioned
was a mining
lately,
laser. Yeah,
a
that
couple of
was it.
weeks
Yeah, so
ago.
there was
Yeah.
like a yeah, yeah. So there was a. I could have sworn there was another one, but now there's a jackhammer, which also makes sense. I wonder if the jackhammer would be like a replacement for the sledgehammer. Actually, I think so. So that you can actually mine the oxide, the
Yeah.
obsidian, and the, not so. It's definitely not for mining. It'll probably be a replacement to the sledgehammer. Yeah, that makes more sense. That'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely would.
Yeah.
Um, have I tried the Iron Fist on those resource
Oh yeah.
things
The
for
nodes. Yeah.
obsidian, etc.?
Yeah,
Not
yeah. We
sure.
haven't. I don't think. I mean, you crafted it. I've only seen it in sticks, so I don't think we have
Uh,
any of those things in sticks.
no, you only have them in Prometheus. Obsidian,
Exactly. Yeah.
scoria, and
Yeah.
clay.
Exactly. So I
So,
haven't. I mean, you could try it, but I haven't because we're not on the map that has it.
steel barrel, I'm gonna get.
Yeah, probably got to do with reserves on the oil network, I would
Yeah,
imagine. So
storage device for oil. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
Stabilize mission for Iris and temporary return to Eden instead of the underground facility. Mission 4 for Dangerous Horizons.
Small brick chimney fireplaces, so making things nice and cozy. And deploy audio for homestead chimneys. So it's like a homestead set that's going to come out apparently. Which
Yeah, like building shit like Brutalist and
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
carved wood and stuff.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, remove metals from Tundra Foxhole Pool at Sulfur Silica. Does this mean in Elysium if you are in the tundra, you don't get no metals at all?
Correct. It's the same thing as
Yikes!
currently. It's the same thing that if we go to the null sector, that there is no
The
oxide or anything like that. So you have to basically. It's like it's probably
so
the frozen
you have
version of.
to kill the flyers because they do have oxide.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
So the
that's
tundra
the
is
best
going to be
way.
the null sector, just the cold version, I think.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Makes sense
I mean,
to express.
two ones above it says add new Tundra 1 setup that is surrounding the starting area. So you're gonna start in the tundra, but you have to
Well,
go to a different biome to even find iron and copper.
I would,
Yikes.
I would, I would
Okay.
read that as the surrounding area is tundra, not so you start off,
Yeah.
but then you're surrounded by tundra, so
Yeah.
not
So,
in the tundra.
maybe. Maybe.
But yeah, so that I mean, like I said, if the tundra is a very difficult surviving kind of location on the harsh, that you have to go in there to perhaps either travel
I,
into it or through
I
it.
mean, on Prometheus we already have biome specific,
Yeah,
like titanium. Go to the volcanic. Platinum. Go to
yeah.
the swamp.
Mhm.
So, are they gonna do that, but a bit more extreme in Elysium. Hey, don't get me wrong, it's better, challenging.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's what they're gonna do. So it's basically the null sector's version for release, or for the new expansion,
Yeah,
which makes
map
sense.
name, maps code name Elysium.
Yeah. So for Elysium, it sounds like that's going to be it,
Huh.
which is also nice because yeah, you can focus on a different biome, and then probably after that it'll probably be like a swamp biome extreme, which is going to be like a acid radioactive kind of thing that they also roll out. So
Yeah,
maybe there, maybe for that.
radiation. Yeah.
Yeah, because maybe that's
So,
something else.
will it be viable to start a level 0 character with no space equipment in Elysium? We're definitely gonna try, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we just have to try. Just beat it with a stick until it dies. That's
Yeah.
pretty much.
Beat radiation with a stick until you die, yeah.
Uh, uh, if it hurts, hit it harder. Force doesn't work. You're simply not using enough of it. So
Exactly. Yeah,
that's about it, as far as I can see.
that's
So
about
patch
it
notes.
indeed. So, that's how we're gonna take a 15 minutes or so break, and then we go do some gameplay on sticks, do some biomass farming, etc.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do the mission
And
next one as well.
obviously,
But
next mission, yep.
yeah, sounds good.
Alrighty. Well, I'll be back with you in a second.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was the patch notes. Nice and quick one today, which leaves us more time for gameplay, so that's good. I hope you folks enjoyed watching us going through the patch notes. We do this every week, so you don't have to. Uh, so if you like us doing this, hey, feel free to come back next week for the next one. And obviously come back in 15 minutes for gameplay. If you did enjoy watching us play, you want to get notified next time I stream, feel free to hit that subscribe button, follow button, sorry. Or if you watch this on YouTube and you want to get notified next time I upload something, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. And I hope I will see you folks around.